Yesterday, Google made a lot of local LLM enthusiasts very happy by releasing Gemma 4, its most capable family of AI models so far. What's especially exciting is that Gemma 4 is built on top of Gemini 3 technology, and based on the announced benchmarks, it outperforms competitors that are up to 20 times larger. But beyond all the technical details, which I'll cover a bit later, what really stands out to me in this release is the license. It's Apache 2.0. It looks like Google has finally listened to the open source community, and now Gemma 4 is released under a fully open, commercially permissive Apache 2.0 license. That means you can do almost anything you want with this model. Full freedom, no lock-in to corporations, and complete control over your data and products. Today, I'm going to install and test this model on my laptop, and probably also on my desktop, and I'll try to figure out whether it's good enough for me to use as my main local model. But an important note, I'm not looking to replace paid models with this one. I see Gemma 4 as a complement to paid models for less complex tasks or in situations where I don't want my data leaving my machine. Hi, I'm Nick, and I've been developing software for over 20 years. On this channel, I share my experience, insights, and thoughts about IT. So to run Gemma 4 on my computer today, I'll be using LM Studio. If you haven't used this tool before, check out the video on my channel where I explain what it is and how to use it. Alright, first I'll try installing the model on my MacBook, because as I mentioned, I want to have it always available. Unfortunately, my MacBook only has 24 GB of RAM, so I'll install a smaller version of the model there. The larger variants, with 26 or 31 billion parameters, I'll install on my desktop. There are several quantized versions of this model available. I'll go with the largest one since the size difference isn't that big, but the output quality should be better. While the model is downloading, let me go over some of the key features Google highlighted in their announcement. First, these models are designed with agent-based workflows in mind. They natively support function calling and can produce clean, structured JSON. Second, all versions are multimodal. They can work with images and video, and the smaller models, E2B and E4B, even have native audio support, meaning they can understand speech directly. Third, the models come with a context window of 128,000 tokens for the smaller versions and 256,000 tokens for the larger ones. This should make them capable of handling large codebases, although that's something we'll need to test. And finally, as a nice bonus, the models support a wide range of languages. Alright, the model has finished downloading. Let's load it into memory. Let's also quickly check the parameters. As I mentioned, I downloaded the 8-bit quantized version. The architecture is of course Gemma 4. And most importantly, the model supports tools and image inputs. As you can see, this model has 7.5 billion parameters, but only 4 billion effective parameters, which should give better performance. The context window is set to the maximum, 128,000 tokens, which is great. Alright, let's switch to the chat. Let's make sure the correct model is loaded and active. By the way, LM Studio shows some interesting info here, like how much memory the model actually uses after loading. As you can see, for me it's about 12 GB. At the bottom of the chat, you can also see which tools are available when working with the model. Alright, the model loaded successfully. Let's test if it actually works. To do that, I'll send a simple prompt in a new chat. For starters, I'll ask it to complete a fairly simple task. Write a Python function to sort a list of dictionaries by 2 keys. This is my standard prompt that I use to test every model. It's quite basic, so any model should be able to handle it. But the goal here is to verify that the model works properly and to see how fast it responds on my hardware. I'll speed up the response generation in the video because generating the full answer can take some time. But at the end, I'll share the total time it took so you can estimate how fast it might run on your machine. So, the model took just under a minute, 49 seconds to be precise. The average speed was around 31 tokens per second with a latency of about 4.5 seconds before it started responding. Honestly, that's a pretty solid result. Just to remind you, I'm running this on my MacBook with 24 GB of RAM and an M4 Pro chip. Now let's test how well Gemma 4 works with images and whether it can actually understand what's in them. I'll upload an image into the chat and ask the model to describe what it sees. Here's the photo. As you can see, I took a picture of my desk and there are 4 items on it: a keyboard, a Kindle, a mouse, and a pen. Let's see how many of those Gemma 4 can recognize. Alright, the model has finished analyzing the image. As you can see, it successfully identified the keyboard and the mouse. It also recognized the Kindle and even described the surface and lighting. However, it didn't notice the pen. But honestly, that's not a big deal. The important thing is that it captured the overall scene and correctly identified most of the major objects. Alright, now it's time to test the larger model. For this, I'll be using my desktop. quickly about the specs of the machine where I'll be running the 26 billion parameter version of Gemma 4. It has an AMD Ryzen 7 CPU, 128 GB of RAM, and an GeForce RTX 4060 Ti with 16 GB of video RAM. Alright, the model is up and running. Let's give it the same task as the smaller model on the MacBook. Writing a Python function to sort a list of dictionaries. This will help me compare the performance of the 26 version of Gemma 4 on my desktop. Again, I'll speed up the generation, but I'll share the total time afterward. While the response is being generated, take a look at the system load. In the top right corner, I'm running NVTop. I use it to monitor GPU usage. The dark yellow line shows video RAM usage and the light blue line shows GPU utilization. In the bottom right corner, I have HTOP running to monitor CPU load and RAM usage. Both of these tools are free and open source. Since the full Gemma 4 model doesn't fit entirely into my GPU memory, it heavily relies on the CPU and system video RAM. But that's not really a problem. What matters is whether the response speed is acceptable. Alright, the model has finished generating the response. It took 1 minute and 3 seconds, a bit slower than the smaller model, and the tokens per second are significantly lower. As you can see, it's around 12 tokens per second. That's almost 3 times slower than the smaller model, but it's not a fair direct comparison, since the models have very different capabilities. Still, now I have a good understanding of what to expect from this model on my desktop. By the way, this desktop is running Linux and I occasionally use it for some of my projects. But I rarely use it as a traditional desktop machine, it mostly acts as a powerful server. Since it's connected to my home network, I usually access it via SSH from any of my other computers when I need it. My main machine for interacting with everything is still my MacBook. And the nice thing is, you don't really need much setup to make this work. LM Studio already has a built-in API that you can access over the network. Alright, now let's switch back to the MacBook and give the model a more challenging task. If you've seen my previous videos where I tested Qwen 3.5 and Qwen Coder Next, you might remember that I prepared a task file where the model has to visualize a sorting algorithm. Let's give the same task to Gemma 4 today. While the response is generating, I'll show you the system load again. It's pretty much the same as before. Almost all CPU cores are fully utilized and the video RAM is maxed out. Alright, the model is done. As requested, it generated an HTML file that visualizes the sorting process. Let's take a look. At first glance, everything looks correct. I don't see any obvious issues. Now I'll open it in the browser to see the final result. Oh, this looks pretty good. It even uses a custom font. Let me try running it. Yep, everything works. The speed slider updates the animation in real time. Nice. Overall, very solid. So, after testing the Gemma 4 family today, I can say these models are really good. I'll definitely be using them quite often. But again, just to be clear, I'm not looking to replace paid models with this. I see Gemma 4 as a complement to paid models, for simpler tasks or for situations where I don't want my data to leave my machine. Alright, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you soon. Take care.